I don't care what religion you are. What gets me is this. This happened over 70 years in France. Los Angeles just paid another $5 billion in addition to the first $5 billion for what they did to young men. It's disgusting. This has happened for decades and decades and decades since the Catholic Church has been created. And none of you Catholics say a goddamn thing about it. And it's morally reprehensible, it's disgusting, and it's vile. Because it didn't affect your son or your grandkid or your granddaughter. You don't give a shit about it. And instead, you go to church and you don't protest, and you sit there and you give your money into the offering plate. You know where your money goes? That's right, to civil lawsuits about what the Catholic Church did. The priests that you're listening to about morality and decency and loving thy neighbor, they're the ones that aren't saying a damn thing about this either. Thought you're supposed to love thy neighbor. Oh, it didn't happen to you. So who gives a shit, right? That's right. And instead, what do you do now? You're sitting there for white smoke, for a bunch of crusty old white guys to tell you how to live your life. That's what religion is. You care more about that puff of smoke than this. Do you hear the Pope speaking out about this? No. I'm not going to live my life, and nor should anybody else, by a bunch of old, crusty, religious zealots who maintain the white patriarchy, the good old boys club. Do you see any women in there? Of course not. Oh, they're supposed to be in their place. Yeah, screw that. So that kind of religious ideology is where we get a lot of misogyny in this country. Because you don't see women in leadership. Because a bunch of old, crusty white guys want to maintain the male patriarchy. And don't sit there with your damn rosary beads, which isn't in the Bible, and saying the Lord's Prayer like a bunch of robots. Thou Father, which art in heaven, blah, blah, blah. I am not a robot. It's religion. I religiously brush my teeth every day. I religiously eat breakfast every day. A religion is something that you do. Faith is something that you practice. You want to be a person of faith? Speak out against this. Call out your damn church. Call out your priest. Call out the hypocrisy about the white smoke while this is happening. That's what I'm doing. Because I believe that I'm supposed to love my neighbor. And until you start loving thy neighbor and giving a shit about these young men, don't call yourself a person of faith or that you follow Jesus. Because Jesus would be sickened that you sit there in your pew every Sunday with your rosary beads and donate to civil lawsuits against children that had this happen to them. Have a